So I'm going to be using my little GoPro today. I'm going to head over to the Northern School of Art, hopefully get a little bit of footage of that, because I know I haven't yet, just been very busy. Yesterday was a really good day. We got the cameras out, Blackmagic Ursas, had a little play with those, some Samyang primes. Then we had a little chat about paperwork and things like that, risk assessments, which isn't particularly glamorous, but nevertheless it is important. And then ended the day with a critical thinking session, and so we got moved into groups with some of the actors and got to meet them, which is always cool. I like that Johnny doesn't like little cliques and comfortable groups forming. I think that's creatively better to move us around and get us chatting to other people. So all I can say is the first 3 days have been brilliant, exactly what I would have wanted. I hope that continues. And then today is what's termed a self-directed study, which means people who aren't necessarily as keen will just take 2 days off and do nothing. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to go in, see which is the best order to buy the books that I'll need for study. I'll have a word with the other Johnny, if I can catch up with him, and get the, well, not necessarily the recommended reading list, but certainly the mandatory reading list bought as soon as I can. Then what else have I got to do? Oh yeah, I'm going to see if I can catch up with John and Johnny. Evidently the Northeast loves its traditional names. But I'm going to catch up with John from the model making and VFX, see if I can perhaps sit in 1 or 2 of his lessons, because I'd like to learn set extension, which that's why I built the diorama that I built. More on that later, but I'm very pleased with how that came out. And then I've got to have another chat with Maxi regarding In the Frame. His guy hasn't got back to him yet, and I know I haven't gone too much into what In the Frame is, but it's essentially a group that I built. It's a collective with some volunteers to try and keep emerging and established filmmakers living and working in the Northeast, rather than having to move to Manchester or London for opportunities. So hopefully we can be successful with that. So far it's been very successful. A lot of brilliant people have come forward to offer some help, and I'll give you more details on that shortly. But the one thing I will say is that the people up here are so keen to see it succeed. The level of generosity with their time, it's quite impressive, overwhelmingly so, frankly, because they are such a giving group of people that if that continues, I believe that we can make a real cultural shift. So hopefully that'll be something positive. What else do we have to do today? I need to check to see if my order of lighting kit is going to arrive. I hope it arrives in time for the Newcastle Film Club film Nails, which again, that's a very exciting project, extremely ambitious. That's a 77 cast and crew female comedy action film on a budget of almost nothing, but again, it just kind of shows the giving and generous collaborative nature and the will to want the region to do well, when it comes to, again, the seventh art. And I know everyone about, oh, the fucking seventh art. Well, I can't just limit things to just film, just TV. It's a massively, it's a wide spectrum. So the seventh art kind of covers that. And so yeah, we've got a lot of real good projects on, and then on top of that, I have the Ferry Hill creative writing group, that I hope, with the help of Danny, I can improve my story craft, and I'm trying to help him kind of build and establish that. So I need to speak to some of our graphic designers at the Northern School of Art and see if anyone would like to help to get some logos and promotional stuff done for that. Hopefully someone will. So far people have been very generous, but I understand that, uni level people have their own projects, and time is precious, so I'll not be too disheartened if there isn't a mad rush to do it. But if we can get, just one or two perhaps, that will be a massive help. So that's what I'm going to do today, and hopefully I can get some, like I say, footage of the Northern School of Art. And I mean, most people, I guess, who are interested in what Hartlepool looks like can easily find that, so I won't go too much into that. But yeah, I shall catch you soon. I've just come out from chatting to the level 6s from the Northern School of Art and told them kind of what In the Frame is and who's going to be there, what its purpose is, so that'll hopefully keep them more engaged in the region and create job opportunities for them. We do need them to support things like In the Frame and really show up. That's pretty much the only requisite, because if they do that, we'll have enough contact and cross-pollination between places like the Northern School of Art or Teesside Uni, and established filmmakers, or just creatives in general in the region. So then we can get costume, prop sets, all that kind of thing, all coming together, meeting in the same room as equals, and just kind of sharing ideas. That's really what In the Frame is for. And in the meantime, I kind of had a little wander around and got a few shots of the Northern School of Art, mostly the library, just to see what kind of books they've got that can complement mine. I have a fairly extensive digital library, and I mean, I've got 25-ish gig of ebooks, and if you think the average size of those is about 10 megabytes, so it's a fairly extensive library, and I've clearly not read them all, but I'd like to think I have enough reference material and a fairly decent background already to kind of really propel me through the next 3 years. Obviously it's still going to be a challenge. I still got to get my script writing polished, my story craft. Those things will hopefully come with time. So I hope that there'll be enough contact time that I can really polish those skills. The people who have come through the Northern School of Art have all seemingly got that and had that time. So I like to think that I can get the same as well. And I think that's it from now. What else have I got on? I've had a little chat about getting a haze machine for another project I'm on with Laura Daly. That's an anthology called Mum, on the struggles of motherhood, and it'll be a nice little project. I have to be careful to not take too much on, and I can't really take any other outside projects on beyond that, which is a shame because I'd like to be involved, but the next 3 years I need to be a bit protective of my time. So had a little chat with Norman, again from the Northern School of Art. He put me in contact with a company who might have a haze machine. It's cheaper than the one in Newcastle, so that's an option. And yeah, so there's lots of projects coming together. Next, I'm going to go back up to Church Square, see if I can track down Matt, who runs the graphics course, and I'm going to see if I can get someone from the graphics course interested in providing some kind of logo and graphics and designs for Ferry Hill Creative Writers Group. And obviously it's all voluntary, so if no one steps forward, that's absolutely fine. But for things such as In the Frame, we had a couple of people step forward and offer to help, and they've been fantastic. So if we can get similar, I'll be very pleased with that. I mean, Sam, who runs the Newcastle Film Club, doesn't need that kind of help. She's brilliant in everything that she does. Plus we have Amy, who does our socials as well. And I think that's something that In the Frame are kind of building towards. We've got a very solid team of volunteers. We just need a bit more support, and tying that hopefully into some form of guild with the Northern School of Art, perhaps Teesside Uni and Tees Valley International Film Festival. That's kind of what we're looking to do. And on that note, actually, the Tees Valley International Film Festival was fairly recently hacked. So if people could go to the TVIFF and give them a follow and a share and really help support them, because they are invaluable to certainly Teesside, but also the wider region as well. And they've been extremely generous and helpful, and trying to really make a bigger impact than I ever could. We're just trying to kind of supplement that and you know, kind of become another cog in the creative machine, if you like, to give people opportunities. So yeah, okay, we'll go and have a chat with Matt. So I didn't manage to catch up with Matt. I'll just message him on Teams. And so now I have to charge the car, ready for tomorrow. So I'm sat while it's absolutely battering down in the car. That'll take probably about an hour. So while I'm here, I'm going to check out some colour theory and Wes Anderson videos on my phone, because we've got coming up shortly, it's the Wes Anderson colour theory Johnny's going to take us through a little bit of that. I'm also going to try and come up with, I've got to have a 3-minute short written based on space and time. So I'm thinking of probably doing some kind of ritualistic stuff, and having that be a little bit metaphysical. So I'm thinking something along the lines of, if we had Hellraiser meets Terminator, possibly, and just loose ideas at the moment that I'm playing around with. So yeah, I'll have a little think of that whilst sitting in a car in the rain. So I got back home, obviously, and I called into the Geek Retreat. I thought there was a poster there for In the Frame, but there wasn't. So I just had a hot chocolate, and while I was there I got chatting to Chris, who is the manager of the Geek Retreat in Hartlepool, and I told him that my son had mentioned about Magic the Gathering, and coincidentally there was a lesson on Magic the Gathering which I know nothing about. So I sat in on that for about half an hour and quickly realised that my son is going to win a lot, all the time, I imagine. It's mind-bogglingly complicated, but I'll give it a shot. I'm not expecting to do very well. But never mind. I mean, it's all, something to learn. I mean, I might pick it up a bit, but I'll not have the time to be that good. So I'll get battered at Magic the Gathering, I dare say. Plus, my son is pretty nifty when it comes to that kind of thing, so I'll have to just defer to his knowledge. So yeah, I mean, today was a fairly good all-round day, although I've just got back and realised my card reader now doesn't bloody work. So I can't offload any of this until I buy a card reader. Joy of joys. That's just tech stuff though. I did order a 5 terabyte hard drive as well, just to hopefully get me through. At least to have a working portable drive for the next 3 years, because I figure I'll need one of those, and I'm going to need a couple of decent SD cards. I would love some Angel Bird SD cards, but I don't have the money for that. So it's just going to be standard V60, probably SanDisks that no one else cares about but me. This is the life of a student, is now poring over SD cards like they are the most important and interesting things in the world. I appreciate they aren't. So yeah, again, but today was for like a self-directed study day, although I haven't actually done enough studying. I'm going to, like I said before, watch a Wes Anderson film. I don't know which one yet. I mean, the Grand Budapest Hotel, I watched that fairly recently, so you kind of get a good overall feel of colour for that. The French Dispatch is also another one. Moonrise Kingdom, you can kind of see those like mustard yellow colours in Moonrise Kingdom, but I think the Grand Budapest Hotel is probably one of the best ones for colour that Wes Anderson's done, in my opinion. Feel free to disagree. Anyway, so that's that, and I'll see if I can eventually get a card reader and get all of this uploaded. I uploaded my other 3 videos this morning before I went over to Hartlepool. Obviously they are very rough, very unrefined, and hopefully though, as I kind of learn how to polish my not just video skills but graphic design, the whole kit and caboodle really is I need to improve on. But again, this is just one of the things that come in at things a bit later in life, where I haven't really touched on much like tech stuff, which seems, kind of like it's going to be a massive drawback. I mean, I've used some editing stuff, so from that side of things it shouldn't be too bad, although I've never used Premiere Pro because I couldn't afford it. And so I'll primarily, I would like to prefer to use the Davinci Resolve suite, although I do have to learn all of that. But I do have the studio version of it, so that's useful. And yeah, so I was going to have a read through of the handbook as well, but then boredom kicked in and I just started to do this instead. So, I will have to read the handbook at some point though. Joyous. So I'm just going to do my daily pages, which is just a written version of this that actually came first. I've been doing that for over a year now, fairly consistently. Well, I'd say almost every day, except if I've been far too busy. But I'm hoping that I can transfer that to doing this vlog, and if I can get that every day, that would be great. I won't necessarily post it every day, but I might do like batch uploads on a Thursday, because that's another self-directed study day where I've probably got a little bit more time to do that. So yeah, so far so good.